This was how doctors found Mustafa after the 26 days he says he spent in Israeli detention.
They did a surgery and opened my chest to suck the blood out.
He says he was blindfolded and taken out of Gaza in December, where he was subjected to beatings, sleep deprivation and sexual assault.
They would come with dogs on leashes and let them pee on us. There are things I feel ashamed to talk about, such as they would stick something into men's anuses. It was humiliating. They wanted to break our morale.
Now back in Rafah, even with the constant drone of war above, Mustafa feels lucky to be alive. But he's still recovering from his ordeal.
They would feed us with rotten food. They gave us salted water. We were begging for fresh water.
44-year-old father of 5, Jibril, says he was detained by Israeli forces in November and held for 60 days.
I am an athlete and I used to weigh 95 kilos. When I was released after torture, I went down to 58 kilos. I lost my hearing in the right ear.
He's now on daily medication to treat a litany of injuries.
There are traces of torture on my legs where they would tie us and do electric shock. Electric shocks were terrible and violent. Some of my teeth are cracked due to torture.
It's hard to verify all of these claims given Israel's secrecy around its detention regime, but they add to a disturbing number of similar stories from detainees who've been released from detention in Israel, and they've been backed up by doctors on both sides of the border.
They had head and body injuries due to beating with weapons and arms. Some suffered serious foot inflammation due to torture, as if they'd had heart or kidney failure.
This Israeli doctor worked briefly at the Sde military base, one of the Israeli detention centres. He doesn't want to be identified because he's worried about repercussions.
Every patient is restrained, every arm, each leg, on the sides of the bed. They were basically naked, except for diapers.
I'm about 30 k's from the Gaza border at the Sde military base. This is where most of the detainees from Gaza are taken and interrogated. Behind the fences, they're cut off from the outside world, and there's little known about exactly what goes on here. But given the testimonials that are emerging, some have likened this facility to Guantanamo Bay and called for it to be shut down immediately. In a statement, the Israeli Defence Force said mistreatment of detainees is absolutely prohibited. They denied unsubstantiated claims of sexual abuse and sleep deprivation and said the IDF acts in accordance with Israeli and international law. They also said any concrete complaints are forwarded to the relevant authorities for investigation. The UN Special Rapporteur on Torture has launched an investigation into the allegations of mistreatment of Palestinian detainees in Israel. Lauren Day, ABC News, Jerusalem.